Hello students. So in previous classes we have studied a little part of carbohydrates, that is till mutarotation. All of you have studied and I hope all of you have received your notes also. So in today's class we will proceed with oxazone formation. So now here you can see the structure of glucose. So it is called as a glucose due to presence of this aldehyde group, that is a CHO group. So oxazone formation includes the reaction between glucose and phenylhydrazine. Okay. So when a limited amount or a one molecule of phenylhydrazine is undergoing reaction with glucose, it is going to give you the respective hydrazone formation. So here only one molecule of phenylhydrazine is used. So here it is going to give you glucose phenylhydrazone. So what is the main difference between hydrazine and hydrazone is, here you can see there is a double bond between carbon and nitrogen. So when there is a formation of this carbon and nitrogen double bond with this group, that is called as hydrazone formation. Okay. So now we are going to study now about oxazone formation. So in oxazone formation, we are going to use excess amount of phenylhydrazine and it is going to react with one molecule of glucose. So it is giving you, that is glucosazone formation. So here you can see that there is a 3 molecules of phenylhydrazine is used and it is going to react with the glucose and it is going to give you the glucosazone formation with the elimination of ammonia and aniline. So now we'll see about the mechanism. As I have told, when there is a one molecule of phenylhydrazine is used, it is going to give you the respective glucose phenylhydrazone. So in the first step, one molecule of phenylhydrazine is going to react with glucose and it is going to give you glucose phenylhydrazone formation. So here you can see that. So in the next step, as I have told, there is a utilization of 3 molecules of phenylhydrazine. Okay, so already here one molecule is utilized. So in the second step, second molecule is utilized. So before going to it, that second molecule is going to oxidize the hydroxyl group which is adjacent to this aldehyde group. So in glucose, this is the aldehyde group which is already condensed with one molecule of hydrazine to give the respective hydrazone. So this is the adjacent hydroxyl group to this aldehyde group. So it is oxidized by the second molecule of the phenylhydrazine. So before oxidizing, rearrangement will takes place. So how this rearrangement will takes place? With the formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So here you can see that here this bond is shifted toward this carbon atom. So the polarization will takes place and this bond is shifted toward this nitrogen. So when there is a bond shifting will takes place, rearrangement will takes place. So here you can see that there is a double bond formation between these two carbon atoms. Here this bond is shifted towards this nitrogen and this bond is shifted here. So when it is shifted here, there is a dotted line I have shown here that represent hydrogen bonding. So when there is a formation of hydrogen bonding between this and elimination of this molecule, that is this part, and that is nothing but aniline. Okay, so this rearrangement will takes place before the addition of the second molecule. So when this rearrangement is taking place, ketone formation will takes place here. Here it was a hydroxyl group, it get converted into ketonic group. So here you can see it got converted into ketonic group. So here now the second molecule of phenylhydrazine is going to condense with this ketonic group with the elimination of water. So here you can see there is a formation of respective hydrazone. So one more molecule of hydrazine is remained, and that is going to react with this molecule, and finally there are presence of two hydrazone groups, and hence it is called as a glucosazone with the elimination of ammonia.